which we're going to start talking. So let's talk about community, because we want to, our goal here today is to help people. You and I both mentioned that we're seeing more people get involved with social media, more people trying to get engaged, but as they're doing it, there's definitely some good, some bad, and some things you should definitely avoid, especially when it comes to building community. So when you think about building a community, what's some of the first things that comes to mind when you think about building a community on social media?
I would say the very first thing that comes to mind is that inclusivity, like building that culture where everybody feels like they have a seat at the table, a community where people want to engage, that they feel safe asking questions, no matter how silly they think it might be. That it's okay. We're here, a place of support and just a place for everybody to feel like a family.
Ooh, that's a good point. And something that the brokers have done, and again, we want to be very clear, this is not just a broker show. This is not an Arrive show. This is for everybody, but the brokers in particular, if you've ever been part of their groups, there is kind of a family unity that happens there. There is a support that happens there. And you want to take that and you basically want to translate it over into your own personal brand, if you will. When you're building a community, something that you and I were talking about as we were getting ready for this is when it comes to building a community, you should not think about building a community around mortgage, especially us individually. People, I've said this before, I'll say it again, but people just don't care about mortgages as much as you think you care about mortgages. People care about us, right, Bree? Like, that's what they want. They care about us individually. I guarantee if you go look at Bree's, and now I'm calling you Bree, and I don't know, Val, look what you started. Now I'm calling you Bree. So, but they honestly, they go see what you're doing on your social, and they care about your personal life, the things that you're really bought into. That's how they get really like that relationship that they have with us individually. It's because of those things. It's not particular just about mortgages, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And I had the honor of working really closely with the wonderful Laura Brandeo and the AIM team to help build the Women's Growth Series, or the Women's Mortgage Network. And that really, it resulted in me having to get really creative and be really vulnerable, which are two aspects that you absolutely need when you're building that community. You need to, I would find women in other groups who were in the wholesale mortgage industry, message them, get to know them, and then post things about myself and try and relate to them in some way. Help them have a seat at that table. I would make like these silly little graphics that said like, what's the most random thing in your purse? And people would love to comment on it. And once you have that,
I bet you got some pretty random stuff on those too. You're like, oh, geez.
Yeah. And once you get, those fun conversation starters going and people start to talk, then the floor opens for them to post about mortgages or to post about their family, and just to feel that they want to be in the group, that they want to, that they have friends within that community.